Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Kellen here with Droid Life. So I've got in my hand today a Nexus 5X. That much is obvious. It's running Android 7.0 Nougat, but what may not be so obvious is the launcher that I have installed on here. Now, this is, in case you were wondering, the Pixel Launcher. Pixel Launcher, what are you talking about there, Kellen? So a month or so ago, the Nexus Launcher leaked. You guys may remember that. Well, this is the new version of the Nexus Launcher. And how are we getting from Nexus to Pixel? Well, of course, there are reports now suggesting that Google may not release Nexus phones this year and may rebrand their phones to Pixel phones. So it makes sense, right, that Nexus Launcher now becomes Pixel Launcher. Either way, because we didn't take a really deep look at the Nexus Launcher, we're now going to take a first look at the Pixel Launcher. So what exactly are we working with here? So if you missed the Nexus Launcher, essentially this is the exact same launcher. It may be a slightly newer build. It's obviously been rebranded, but the features are the same. It seems a little bit smoother to me, but that just could be because I've just started using it again in such a long time. But it is called the Pixel Launcher. So if we jump into settings here and apps and scroll all the way down into the P's, you should see right there, it does say Pixel Launcher. And if you had the Nexus Launcher previously installed, this does install right over top of it. So it wipes out Nexus Launcher. It is now called Pixel Launcher. The leak was provided by Lab2Fur. I believe I'm saying that right. Twitter user, huge HTC leaker. And since HTC is supposedly building the new Pixel phones, it makes sense that he would be leaking information about it. And so we have it. You can download it. You have to sideload it. Now, we can't vouch for whether or not these are the most secure apps or APKs ever because they're not from us, they are from him. So if you do want to sideload these and you can download them at the site, you are proceeding at your own risk there. There are two files. One is the Pixel Launcher, one is the Wallpaper Picker, and they will work basically on most phones from what I can tell. I've got it up on the Nexus 5X. I also have it up here on a Galaxy S7. I can't imagine it won't work on just about anything else as well. So anyways, let's dive in here. Just for those of you who aren't up on the Nexus Launcher, it's a really simple launcher that looks a lot like the Google Now launcher, but maybe even simpler, faster. And then of course now it's called the Pixel Launcher. So basic layout here, Google sort of pill shortcut, if you will, set up right next to a calendar. These are not necessarily widgets. They are embedded features, just like how the Google search bar used to be in the Google Now launcher, or I guess to say is in the Google Now launcher. So you can actually tap on the little pill that lets you search. At some point, at least on the Pixel phones, maybe Nexus phones down the road. And then if you sideload these as a system app, you will get the swipe over to Google Now. I don't have these loaded as system apps, so I can't slide over here into that, but that will be a function just like it is on Google Now. The calendar up here, you can't remove that. That is stuck there. So even if I long press, you can see it just sort of zooms out. It doesn't let me move that. So those two things are stuck there. As far as other features, yes, the long press is still there, and that gets you to your Wallpaper Picker, which we'll come back to, widgets, settings, and there really aren't very many settings in here. So if we go back though, you'll notice the folders have changed, and these changed back with the Nexus Launcher. I think they also leaked potentially before that, the design of them did, and you've seen third-party launchers adjust their folders to look like that as well, or at least offer them as options. So these are what the new folders will look like with this Pixel Launcher. In terms of down here, you'll notice something missing. There is no app drawer button. That's because you do swipe up, and it's kind of tough to see, but there is a little arrow right there as well. And so you basically just swipe up, and that gets you into all of your apps. Same setup here as the Google Now launcher. You do have your quick scroll over here by letter, so you can jump in between your apps there. Up at the top, it does show you your 5 most recently used or heavily used, whatever the algorithm is there. And then of course there is search functionality where you can type in whatever app you are looking for. So that looks very similar, but it does slide up and down, and it's very smooth, as you can tell right here. It does. It's built quite well. If you want to add new pages to your home screen, you just drag things to them, and then that gives you multiple pages. If you want to delete them, you just drag things off, and then those pages go away. So it's like Google Now Launcher again, just sort of revamped, a fresher look. I guess we could say. All right, so one of the things I did want to show you though is the Wallpaper Picker. So if you do go ahead and sideload this, again, we're not saying do it, we're just saying if you do, there are two files, the Pixel Launcher file, which is your launcher, and then there's also a Wallpaper Picker. So if you load up the Wallpaper Picker, this is what you get, Google's new wallpaper style setup. So in here, there's an Explore option up top, which is usually the wallpaper you have set from what I can tell. There's also a My Photos option, so you can just go into your most recent photos and find a wallpaper. There's on-device ones, and so these are the on-device Nexus wallpapers. And then as you start scrolling, you'll see categories like Earth, Landscape, Cityscape, Life, Textures. Then we get to Live wallpapers, and then if you have other wallpaper packs installed, you'll see those there as well. So I'll just jump into Earth because these are kind of cool. So a couple things to note: daily wallpaper option. If you do tap on that, there is a message that says, if you use this, we will auto change your wallpaper every single day. And you can also limit that to being only on Wi-Fi only. So if you want a fresh new wallpaper every day, you can get that through here. If we go in and choose one, you'll see it load up and tells you a little bit about it, who created it, things like that. And then there's a set wallpaper option up top. You can say on home screen, lock screen, or both. And then that will set as your wallpaper. If we jump back in there, more things to show you here. So if we go back in, let's say we choose this one. One of the things you'll notice is this option down here for Explore. So in these sort of Earth satellite images, if you hit Explore, it actually opens Google Maps and takes you to that exact spot on the map to where they got that image from. So it's very, very cool. So you can actually explore exactly where that came from and all that stuff. It's a very cool new little feature. And it does that for all of the Earth ones. So no matter what you choose in here, it will take you to that exact spot. You can see, just tap Explore and it loads up and shows you where that's from. Very cool. Some of the other categories are a little bit different. So here's Landscape, for example. They also have the daily option, but most of these are pulled. If you do go in and hit Explore from 500px, you can say it takes you to the 500px page for that. So Google's sourcing their wallpapers from 500px, at least some of them, and it's showing them to you in here and who took the photo and all of that stuff. So it's one of those things they could probably continuously update if they want to. It's really a nice sort of robust wallpaper app now, instead of just the sort of old school style they used to do. And you can see if we go in and choose something like Textures and hit Explore, same thing, takes you to 500px. So also in there, daily. So there's lots of daily options in case you want new wallpapers all the time. There's just lots of cool wallpapers. Google's done a really nice job at sourcing wallpapers from within here. That should give you some really cool options. So that's mostly it. The one other thing I could show you would be the Widget Picker. Not really different from the Google Now Picker. You can drag through it, quick scroll, scrolls vertically, but I believe this happened in the Google Now Launcher some time ago. So anyways, that's pretty much it. Just a quick overview here of the Pixel Launcher. If we discover anything else, we will be sure to post it at the site. Let us know if you guys like it. Do you think it's fast enough? You think it's cool enough? You think it's fresh enough? Or is it just a barely better Google Now Launcher? Tough to say. Either way, it seems like it's coming on Pixel phones, which is going to take some time to get used to. Anyways, comments, questions, we're Droid Life. Peace.